This is Kitzur Yomi as we continue learning the halachas of Tzitzis Perek test, and we pick it up from Sif Yud. Sif Yud is going to tell us a lot of the classical cases when you'd have to potentially make a new bracha on your tzitzis. Says the Kitzur Apayshe Talisay, one who takes off his talis miyad. And you're going to put it back on right away. If you go to the bathroom, when you put it back on, lo yivarich alav, you do not have to make a new bracha. Why? Ki even the mitzad din motor lechas bar lebeisaki say be'etzem mitzad din, you're allowed to bring your towels into the bathroom. Lakach lo you have a hefsek. Aval, however, if your task is not to put it back on right away, and then v'neim lachin change your mind because of love, she put it back on. Sarich levarich alav, then you'd have to make a new bracha because you did not have in mind at your time to put it back on. In note 67, it points out so perfectly that let's say you didn't have any intention at all, then it's going to depend. You bring a talis katan, then it's as if your mitzvah continues and you would not need a new bracha, but if not, then you would need a new bracha. Continues the Kitzur. But what happens? A classical case in Afatalisa and Shaloim is Kavein. By accident, your talis falls off. So mixed initial gufay, part of it is still on. You have to be shru by nafal, even if most it fell off. Kim initial mix as mitzvahs, parts of the mitzvahs on you. In you do not have to make a new bracha. Kshementak, no, I love when you fix it. Aval im loy nishar klom al gufay. There's nothing left. Even though you're holding it in your hand. And this is where many people get messed up. They think, oh, I caught it. No. If it completely fell off, you just caught it. Given the lanisha mitzvah gufa, you don't have anything left in your body. No mitzvah to tell us your hand. To wrap your body. You have to make a new bracha. And a similar case is going to be if a mezuzah falls. You come to a house, you see a mezuzah on the floor. Again, it's called a hesach hadas that you don't have in mind for it to fall off, and therefore you'd have to make a new bracha. V'mir like came at tefillah. If it happens in the middle of davening, magshin rash lafsik, a place you're not allowed to talk. Leivarich az aliyanta adshich levarich with you can make a bracha. V'echtzitz biyadai umevarich. We'll just point out there is a mechudesh dikar or Shulchan Zaman Arbach that says that even when it falls off entirely, because you're still wearing your talis katan, you do not have to make a new bracha. But the pashtus is we paskin like the Mishnah Berurah and the Kitzur that you would make a new bracha. Says the Kitzur Sifyud Aleph Motor Lital Talis Shal Chavera, one is allowed to take someone else's talis ba'karoi ba'alma on occasion. Gam Shalom Yidayt I'll tell him v'sval b'levarich alav to daven and make a bracha. The mishum de mistama, because probably you can assume nichla enish lever mitzvah b'mayne if someone likes someone to do a mitzvah with his money makushein chasar and kiss when there is no loss. 71 points out, this is only by a talis, by Sfarim often not, because people are makvin on Sfarim because the page might tear. And no 72 points out that Avada, if the guy's there, you should ask him, and you should ask him. The end of note 70 points out, you should have in mind not to acquire it so that you're able, so that you do not have to make a bracha on it. We'll just parenthetically point out, if you know the guy is yes makbid, then you can't take it. Aval you can't take it out of the house. Then maybe he's makbid, you don't take it out of the house. If it's folded up, you have to fold it again the place it was originally. You should not fold up the towels. Because and since the reason you're not folding it up is because you're not allowed to fold the towels in Shabbos, halacha that we'll get to, Mirza Shem, Chaveroi Meichel Loi. Now here it goes. Let's say you're in a shul. You're getting a liyah. So you borrow someone's talis. Rak laus b'vatayra. If you're borrowing a talis to get an aliyah, or as note 75 points out, to be a chazin, or a kohen kahanim yish safek, the safek levarich alav. Therefore, when you take this talis of your friend to get an aliyah, to lane, to davin, Yiskabin, you have a mind, you're not being kaineh. It's also kuliyalmi, and it's a levarich enough to make a bracha. Aval, but says the Kitzur Matalis Kahal, if it's a talis of the shul, I feel einay neile rak laus the Torah, the Kitzur Paskin Sarach levarich alav the havi kishaloi, then it's like yours. Note 76. points out the Beracha, many of a minhag not to make a bracha even in this case, and I think that is the prevalent minhag. Continues the Kitzur Sif Yud Beis Tam Semer Amar Batero Baiske Mut Semer Chilam Veilam is wool is the wool of a sheep. Vatal Sheshesi Hu Shel Semer. Let's say it tells us that one way the threads are wool, V'erev Shel Semer Gevno Mashi Chudaimeh. The other way is Kain Silk or the like, or Lehepech Sha'erev Shel Semer V'Shesi Hu Minacher. Yerishamayim Leivarachal tells that Mishom. The Yeshayimim the Gam Tzitz Shel Semer. Some say even in the woolen strings. Ain't a point in rock that has to be the same type, the strings and the garment. Tal shal meshi a silk towels for tzitzis shal semer livarach lav ella. Farach tchila tal shal semer make a bracha to woolen towels. Yisat b'vach yasiroi yisat v'zeh. Again, I don't think this is so common to have a begging made of wool and other materials. However, imigam at tzitzis shal meshi, you have silk towels, silk tzitzis yichol livarach lav. Even the Kitzur says it's not common. It is common to have silk. The tzitzis being in tviyah lishma. Actually, that's why it's not common, and people don't make raw silk for tzitzis. Finally, Sifyud Gimel Tzitza. Each tassel of one of the strings is ripped off. We know the 4 is doubled into 8. There's enough to make a bow on it. Hainu arba gedolim, 4 gedolim. Ein chay adam oyiv nisach shtayim. Or if 2 were cut, mishum kol echad arba gedolim. Each one has that amount. Ushnei chutin shleim is kashir. Kashira, it's going to be kosher. And again, this is, as he mentioned, it's because it's 4 going to the other side. So if 2 are ripped, you still have the other side. I feel nisha mikol echad arba gedolim. V'chut aravi ushalem. One complete, one is ripped. Unless it is Ishas Adchak, Mishabura, Beracha discusses at length. And therefore, even if it's completely cut until the chuliyos, till the part that goes around, pshita the ksheira. Kivish achotze. Einay rak, here it is. Chatzi achot. V'shadayim v'chatzi hasheni k'dei aniva v'yoser. And this is the reason why, if let's say, this is going to be one of the more common cases, if here's your tzitzis, if one side, one string is ripped, it's not a problem. This is shnei chutin. So again, I jumped the gun. The first part, the Kitzur talking about is completely ripped, which isn't so normal for that to happen. Now the Kitzur tells us, let's say 2 of the 8 were severed. You don't have enough left. So you have 2 strings ripped, and maybe each one came from a different side, so it's really one string. And this is one of the reasons why you should keep each of the 4 separate. As he says right now, if you're sure from 2 different strings, so when you tie them, take the lishur tamid, you are careful to always tie the 4 on each side to keep them separate. So now when 2 ripped, you know it's for sure from the same side. Nifsku, so now what does that mean if 2 ripped? Is for sure left of it, and 2 are complete, then our tzitz is kosher. So if it's ripped down here by the hole, even 1, it's going to be Possul. And with this we conclude for today. While you made it, how you call achut and aruki shear, all the tzitzis were the regular 12 thumb lengths long. And then it got shortened. When you made your tzitzis, a little bit less than shear psula. And again, in our world, no one is making their own strings. We're buying strings, and of course, the strings are all going to be the requisite size, so this will be fine. But definitely important that if your tzitzis were made appropriately, that each of the 4 were kept separate. Now, if 2 rip, you're not going to have a problem. We'll pick it up from here. Psiyata Vishmaya.